And welcome back to According to Tom. My name is Tom. I am your host. Today we are excited because we're starting our brand new season of The Last of Us Season 2. Come join us. I want to welcome, of course, my co-host, Dave. How you doing, sir?
Good. I feel like I'm trying to get situated here.
Almost forgot you lost your laptop there.
Yeah, I forgot where I put it. But yeah, good.
Awesome.
How about
Pretty good. Everything's good. Excited. There's a lot of stuff going on in the movie industry, but I can't do every single like. There's 3 movies I'm gonna watch. I want to watch Sinners. I want to watch Warzone, and I also want to see The Accountant 2. I got to see those movies.
you? You want to see that one, huh?
Oh, well, I love the first one. I thought the first one was really good. So I want to see the second one. And I'm a big fan of John Bernthal, and I love Ben Affleck. I think he's one of the greatest actor of all time and director.
Is he? What's other than the main star of Accountant 2? What's his role?
Like what he plays in Accountant?
Well, no. Is he? Does he get a producer credit? Is he a writer of it? I don't know
I don't
much
know.
about.
That's a good
Okay.
question. I have no clue. But anyways, we're not here for that.
No.
Let's get down to business. We are here for season 2, The Last of Us. It started this past Sunday. We're gonna review. Warning: we are gonna do spoiler alerts as well as after we review and our thoughts and our feelings. We're gonna go back and I'll tell you if I'll tell you. I can spoil you the game part because they are doing something very very interesting with this season because
Okay.
I'll tell you why. And so, uh, episodes two, season 2, episode 1 is called Future Days. And now we're right back where we begin with the ending of season 1, where when they're walking back to Jackson, Wyoming, Jackson.
Yeah.
And,
Can you give me just a real quick recap? I didn't go back and watch. So what did Joel? He lied to Ellie about. He said he told him everything he told her about the Fireflies was true, but that's not true. What did he lie about? I forgot.
Oh the first one they got to Salt Lake City.
Right.
You can see our temple in the game. And they had to kill her. They would have to kill Ellie to actually make the cure.
Oh,
and
that's right. Okay.
Joe didn't want to do that. So Joe, as she was still like passed out, he basically killed everybody in there, and then took her back to Jackson, and told her that there were other immune girls, there was other immune children that they already looked at, and that there was no way to do a cure, and so.
Right.
And so you get that set up at the end, at the beginning of season 2. You get the scene in the end where she asks him, "Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth." And he basically lied right in her face.
That's right. Okay.
But it felt like she kind of like doesn't trust him in that. If you watch her face, she's like,
she hesitated on her response just as much as he hesitated to tell her. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Now I'm understanding.
Good. So, okay, what's your first thought of the episode 1? I want to hear your thoughts first.
It was. What are my thoughts? Geez, I didn't collect my thoughts. Maybe you should go first.
Okay, so let's recap of what happened. So now we start with that scene, then we go straight back to Salt Lake City, and we meet Abby. She is a very important.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
she's a very important character in the game, and she's played by this girl who was in I forgot her name. I don't know her name. I'm bad with name, folks, but she's actually is in the show The Last Man Standing with Tim Allen.
She's in The Last Man Standing. Yes. She was in the movie Dear Evan Hansen as a musical.
Yep.
What was she? Didn't she do Apple Cider Vinegar? Wasn't she the main character in? There's a Netflix series about some social media influencer that lied about having brain cancer.
No, I don't know about that. So
okay. Anyway,
but I know her from The Last One. So now, right off the bat, she's different than what Abby looks in the game.
Okay, how so?
Abby was more buff. Her body, which is kind of weird to me because it almost like they put her head in a man's body in the game. She was really
Oh, really? They're
yeah,
really
very
jacked,
intimidating
huh?
and it's jacked up. And so
Okay.
we get this scene where uh they get together. You get Owen and you get the other group. So all those characters are in the game, and they're part. They're the group that's gonna go find. Gonna go look for Joel and Ellie. Let me get
Did we
right
get
on.
backstory of those characters in season one? Because I don't remember those
No, these are
characters.
all
Okay.
brand new seasons. You will get. I don't know how they're gonna play it, but they do get back. Though you'll get a backstory between Owen and Abby. There's also. Oh, there's some other names in there. Nora's in there. You get back. The game gave a little bit of backstory to not all the people there, but some. But right off the bat, I don't like shows. Now I hope it doesn't. I hope it does. I hope they this plays out better. But right off the bat, they show you these guys, and they want us to believe that these guys are like trained, not trained killers, but like like she was mad. She was because they killed her father. So the father was a
Right.
surgeon in the
Okay.
game, and so in fact, in the game, Abby was in the room when Joe killed her dad. But anyways, or no, she wasn't. She wasn't in the game. I apologize. She wasn't in the game. No, she wasn't in the room, but she comes in later. But anyways, so my first thought when I first saw that scene, I'll tell this is the negative for me. Okay, there's
Okay.
two negatives that I have. I'll talk about right now. One is they want us to believe that these guys are gonna go kill Joel. That they said that they describe him. He was handsome and this and this. So somebody in that room saw him and described that to Abby, and so
Yeah.
and that's yeah, we're gonna go kill him, and we're gonna kill him
Kill them
slowly.
slowly. Sure.
But like, I don't understand the writing in that because wouldn't you think that these guys like, oh, no, wait, they talk like they're gonna go kill him like it's something easy to do. Like, yeah, we're gonna kill him. Like, guys, did you not just see the grave you just dug up with all those bodies? They don't set him up as if like like they don't mention like, oh, I don't know, he could be very dangerous. He's a dangerous guy. We should be prepared. Like none of that. They just want to think that these guys are bad A and that they're like they can go and just kill Joel like nothing.
Yeah, they
Like
that did
what?
I yeah, I felt like that. And I didn't and again, I don't know the backstory of the characters, so I have
No,
no
not yet.
idea. I have no idea what to expect. This is all new to me, not having not played the games.
Yeah. Well,
So yeah.
Abby's the only one that has the backstory really like a more than any of the other ones. But
Okay.
so we get the scene they're gonna go kill him. Then we get a scene that says 5 years later. Well, now 5 years later, there's contention between Joel and Ellie. They don't like each other. They can't stand each other. She moved into the garage and like they don't talk. There's
Yeah.
conflicts, and so she goes and you know the first thing you see her fighting. She's training and
Oh
trying to be
yeah.
tough,
Yeah.
like don't pull punches. And she goes on the patrol, and then there's a scene where she like okay, and this is the part where I'm finding interesting what the story what the show is doing. You know what? I'm gonna wait because that's spoiling.
Okay.
It's really spoiling.
So
So keep,
yes. So my thoughts are this is all new to me. So I don't know
yeah,
what to the only thing I really know about the second game is that Joel dies sometime in the game.
not
And
not
I don't know
not
if
not sometimes, right away.
right away, like in the very beginning of
We'll talk about it.
I'm sure that's not I mean they're not gonna cast what's his
Well,
bucket
this
and
is
kill
where I
him right
think
off the bat.
this is where I think that what they're doing is very interesting. So let me recap really quick. So
Okay.
there's a scene there. She's doing target practice with Tommy.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
talking about going to this fiesta. She goes to the dance and she has the romantic thing with Dina,
Dina.
who's played by a girl. She was in Transformers. She was in
Was she in
no,
Transformers?
she's Dora the Explorer. She's the girl. Yeah, that's who she
Oh,
is.
in the live action
Yeah.
Dora.
She's
Okay.
also a Hawk Girl in the new Superman, so be on the lookout for
She's
her.
Hawk Girl.
A
Oh,
Hawk Girl or whatever the girl, the flying
yeah,
Hawk,
Hawk
yeah,
Girl.
or something like that. So they
Hawk.
go
That's yeah, tough to
and
say.
they had they went on patrol as well, and they got into a fight with with the infected. There's a new infected in
Oh
this they
yeah.
show, which is not in the game.
Oh,
This
so
is
they're
something
okay. So
different.
they're changing things then,
Yeah.
huh?
You also, well, it's kind of in the game, but it's a similar one, but they're not as smart as what they make this infected
Okay.
to be. They instead of coming after them, they waited and they're snared or they're getting smarter. That one scene when she's walking between the aisle and
Yeah, that
you
was
see this,
eerie.
oh, or the very scene when she falls down and she stands up, and also you see
Yeah,
the
you see it in the background,
very well way of kind of like a horror
like a
vibe.
thriller kind
Yeah,
of. Yeah,
but does it so well that it's like, oh my gosh, it's scary. And so
yeah. I got the feeling that we're back in a zombie
yeah,
movie again.
so she gets bit, but she's immune. No one knows. So they go back. They go to the dance. They get enough. This is where Joe also has a scene where he goes to a therapist who plays by
Oh, O'Hare,
Kathy O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hare.
Catherine O'Hara, and she's not in the game. She's a made up character. Her husband Eugene is in the game, but he's not that important of a character. But here they're gonna make Eugene a very important, not important, but we're gonna see Eugene in this show because it's played by the guy from the Matrix, the guy that betrayed them in the Matrix, and so
Oh,
I don't
God,
know
what
his
is that
name.
character? Anyway,
Anyway, so they have a therapy session, and she knows right away. Uh, Joel is keeping something from Ellie, but she tells him how he felt. We're gonna find out how Eugene died, and it's because in the hand of Joel, and she let him have it, and so they go to the dance. They kiss. I don't like this part in the game as well. It's actually, I think to me it's dumb, but whatever. I'll play along with it. And she gets
there's a
called
yeah, there's a little conflict,
conflict,
and
and Joe comes in and pushes him. The one thing that I don't like, the other thing I didn't like was the way she reacts to Joel in here in the live action show is different than in the game. The context is the same. She's mad at him, but the way Bella Ramsey, the way she is like too aggressive. In the
okay,
game, it wasn't as aggressive as that. She talks to him, but like she said the exact same line, "You get the F for me" or whatever. Where she said
yeah, I don't need your effing
F and
help.
help, yeah. So, but the delivering of the line is completely different than the game, and so, but Pascal, Pedro Pascal plays it perfectly, and he just kind of like just walks away. He goes home, and there's a scene he got her guitar and kind of like fixed it, and he's playing
Oh
the
yeah, this is
guitar.
before the New Year's thing.
So the years happen, and then you see they playing the fireworks, and the spore, they call it the spore, I guess, is creeping into the city.
Into
So
the
in,
main. So I did like that. That was one thing I liked. They set that up pretty well with there's roots growing into the water main, and then
yeah,
at the end we see that this now becomes a danger to
yeah,
their fortified city or town here in
yeah.
Jackson.
So
So
so now we're gonna have a two front battle. You're gonna battle the infected, and
and
you're gonna fight
then
Abby.
Abby and Owen and them
Now
have
the way
now
Abby,
found.
the way they it looks like the way they do it is not what the game is, but I'll tell you exactly what happened. So I love this episode. I think the way they said it is pretty interesting because, and this is where we're gonna get it. You have any thoughts before I move on? Anything you liked?
So Abby and her crew, these fireflies they're the fireflies, right?
Well, no longer
They were
because
though
they were when the
when
when
Joel killed her dad.
yeah,
They were the fireflies.
yeah,
They've been searching for him for 5 years. Is that what I'm understanding?
in the game is 4
It's four
in the
years.
game, but it
Okay.
took 5 years because they didn't know where to track them. Remember, It's a lot
Yeah.
different when there's a zombie apocalypse and so.
Sure. Yeah. So
And they,
they've been surviving and hunting
yeah.
Joel for five
Well, they
years.
went to Seattle first. Remember, they said there's a group of Seattle, the Wolf, which you will meet later, who plays by oh, that guy. He was in Hunger Game Catch. He was on Hunger Game Catching Fire. He plays
I don't know.
the smart one. Anyways, it's the same guy that voices that character in the game too. So it's the same person. But
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, so they end up going to Seattle first and kind of like join the Wolf, and they got their war going with the Scars, which is
Oh, this is a whole other
other
story going
world.
on then,
Yeah,
huh?
whole other world where
Okay.
you will find out later. I wonder how they can introduce that. But so they were in the game is 4 years. They make it five. I'm not sure why. Timeline wise, I guess maybe that worked, but it's a anyway. You would mention. I'll tell you what. Go ahead. Anything else you want to?
No, I was just trying to like understand if that was still the context.
Yeah.
Um,
But as the show itself, what's your thought on it? Like the pacing, was there something you didn't like? Like what are some things that you maybe were confused about? But
so I think the pacing was fine. I didn't have a problem with the pacing. Again, this is all new to me, so I'm just
yeah,
like trying to take in everything that's happening. Um, there's not a whole lot of backstory on Dina.
not yet,
Um,
not yet.
yeah, not yet. So,
But we know that she dated that Asian guy.
yeah,
He plays an
yeah,
important role later too. He comes, yeah,
okay. Yeah, so if they're going to provide some backstory and some context on, all of that, fine. And there was a little bit of exposition for that, which it wasn't overly done.
yeah,
I don't feel like they were really trying to like push the backstory of these characters, which I
mm-hmm,
appreciate, right? There's so much more going on that we need to understand as the audience
yep.
that, backstory may just get in the way of them telling the story. So, yeah, pacing was good, not too much exposition.
And and I love the fact that they are dealing with what we're dealing with in the real world in the sense of they can't take every like we're talking about immigration, of course, like coming in the United
Yeah,
States.
yeah, yeah.
And in their case, they're taking people in, but there's no
That was
resource.
that was the line that I loved that from Joel, right? Like she's
Yeah.
like, we need to take people in. He's like, not if our lifeboat is
Yes.
sinking,
Yep.
right? Like we got to keep it afloat
And then
before
she
we can
said,
take on more people.
so they
You were a
die.
refugee too.
Yeah. But she did say, well, would you let them like suffer and die? And
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. He goes, it has to be that way.
yeah.
Because they're dealing with resource. They can't build houses fast enough. They can't. There's no food. There's too many people, too many
Yeah.
mouths to feed.
Did
So,
you tell her about the dial?
oh yeah,
That's funny. I do, and there's like little bits of humor thrown in there. I like. Here's what I liked. Also, the characters Ellie and Dina when they go in on their own.
yeah,
All right, all the confidence in the world, but they're still very much teenagers. She's 19,
yeah,
so they're still very much acting like teenagers and like
yeah.
joking about how they're going to kill the right. And
The
so,
the chemistry is great.
yeah, yeah, it was fun.
So
Um, yeah, those were some of the things I liked.
okay,
As far as things I didn't like, um, yeah, I mean, just not knowing, and
what's
this
gonna
isn't,
happen?
yeah, not knowing where these characters
Well,
came from. Like, I didn't get the backstory on how Abby's dad got killed. So
that's in first season though.
that's in the first season.
Yeah,
Maybe I need to go back and watch that. I don't remember
Well,
that.
he's the doctor that was going to operate on Ellie when he goes in
Oh,
there,
that's
and
right. Okay.
so the doctor is like stops him. It's like, and he said no, and then Joe just shot him and took her out.
Oh,
That's
that's
Abby's
right.
dad.
Okay. All right. All right.
So
But oh wait, so there's 5 years
yeah,
between season one and season two.
yes, yes, yes,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Okay.
And in the game, it does give a backstory because in the game you play as Ellie half a game, and then you play as Abby, and you see her storyline, and they come in full circle together, and they're gonna fight each other and do all that, and so
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah, so that's on me as as
No,
the
no, no.
audience for not going back and. But
It's
yeah,
been a while. It's been a
I was
while.
like, what's going on here? Who are these characters?
But if you
So
didn't play the and Owen was basically his like their friend and who like they're part of the Firefly. They're trying to figure out this whole thing and yeah and so yeah I love the first.
okay,
I thought the first episode was great. It's an introduction to season two,
yeah,
but boy did they change a lot of things.
okay.
In
Do you want to
fact,
talk about what they've
let's
changed?
so now we're gonna go into the segment where I like to call
What's
between.
different
What's
between?
difference
What's
between?
the
There you go.
difference?
What's the difference? The whole entire first episode of the live action show are all flashback in the game.
Really?
Never you'll never see it until towards the end of the game. They
Okay.
there's scenes that you see that the part where he's playing the guitar and she walks up and that all that is all in the flashback in the game. In fact, when the game starts, it starts correctly. They go on the patrol, all that at patrol. It starts the day after the fiesta, like after they had that celebration where she
Okay.
kissed her
That's where the second game starts.
starts and they're going on the patrol and all that and you don't know what happened. She just kind of gave like, oh yeah, she kissed me. Yeah, that guy was the guy that called them Dyke.
Yeah.
In the game, Marie, who is Tommy's wife, in the game Marie's white, by the way, not black.
Okay.
But they wanted to be politically
Sure.
correct. So
Sure.
Marie makes that guy apologize to Ellie. So you
Oh,
see,
okay.
yeah, so you see the effects of what happened in the fifth the next day. That's how the game starts. Everything else, the part where she was shooting with Tommy, the guitar scene. In fact, the guitar scene when he's sitting there playing and she walks up in the game, she actually walks up to him and they talked and they
Abby does?
no, not Abby,
Oh, Ellie does.
Ellie.
Okay.
So, but in the game, in the show, she walks up pissed off and walks straight to the garage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the game, she goes and talks to him and actually tries to amend. Here,
Oh,
we're gonna draw it out a little longer.
sure. Yeah.
So
I
the
mean, we have how
show.
many episodes to get through?
So what I'm
8?
get okay. So maybe 8 or 9. So right off the bat, folks, I guess we already spoiled it. So Joel dies within 10 minutes of the game,
Okay.
right off the bat.
So, yeah, we're definitely
So
drawing this out then.
how are no how are
You don't think
we
so?
because they're switching timelines. They're changing chronologically. They're changing everything. So now instead of the ending, which all those things that happened in episode 1 are flashback at the end of the game. So what I'm thinking, what my theory is that they're gonna kill Joel off, but it's gonna be the ending at the end
Oh, the ending of the season?
of the season 3 or season or because season there's going to be one more season this season and season 3 and it
Okay.
might be the end of season 2 where he dies and then season 3 is when she goes on a revenge tour which is pretty
Ellie goes on a revenge
well
rampage.
her and Dina goes and Tommy goes in the game. Man, I'm giving you
Okay.
all this game stuff but it's very interesting to see what they're doing. It's actually genius because you can't go off what the game is. You can't go with the game like exactly what the game is because you can't tell stories like that because you're not
Right.
playing the game, right?
Yeah.
There's no in
There's no
between. Yeah.
interaction with the
Yeah.
characters. We're just watching it happen.
So instead of doing that, they take the ending of flashback and makes it into the beginning of what the story is gonna entail us. We know that Joel's gonna die. There's gonna be a lot of people who die as well. And man,
Sure.
if you I think the second season, besides the fact that there's the love interest, same sex stuff, I'm not into that. But besides that,
That's
that's
part of
part
the
of the
game though,
game.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredibly storytelling when it comes to the game. You're going to be a lot of new different characters. The I think I still say the first Last of Us is still the best because it gives us more context, the relationship between him and between Ellie and Joel.
Yeah.
Here we'll see the clash, and so it's interesting what they're doing because almost 90% of the scene in the episode one were flashback at the end of the game. So it's interesting what they're doing. They're not
Okay.
because they can't just kill off. Well, the game
So they're
did
not like they're not changing per se the timeline. They're presenting it to us in
different,
chronological order.
yeah, different orders, and
Yeah.
so will Joel die in the second episode? I don't know. I don't know. But here's the thing: if they do that, now there's two theories. My theory is they can kill him off in the end of second season, or they can kill him off the next one, but still have flashback of him doing stuff with Ellie. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of flashback that goes on in the game with her and Joel, a relationship, and it's heartbroken. I mean, I didn't cry or anything, but it was very emotional the way he gets killed by Abby and that group, and yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty brutal, but at the same time, it's one of those. It's a great storytelling, and I love it. And so I'm excited for this season. I like the way they presented season one. I was so curious how they were going to do this, but now speculation is going to be off the mat. Like we're going to be like, are they
You're gonna have
if
no idea how
if they
things transpire.
tomorrow when we watch? I'm going to release this. We're going to do. Can you do Monday night?
I could probably do Monday
Yeah,
night.
we're gonna do season two, and then I'll release season one, episode one and episode two on Tuesday.
Okay.
But yeah, folks, anything else you'd like to add?
No, 7 episodes is
Oh, is
what
that
I'm
what it says?
reading.
Okay,
Seven
so
episodes.
it's actually good
So you
that
think that's going to be enough to cover everything that happens in part two?
no, because that's why the
No,
part two is gonna
that's why they're
be
going to do season three.
three. It's season three is gonna be part two of the game as well.
Okay.
But I like this because you've never seen the game, so I like your perspective. Because you don't have you. I know the difference between the game and but at least I want to know what your thoughts on the pacing and the acting
Yeah.
and that those are the
Yeah. I
because
have
I
no
think
preconceived notions.
yeah no, but I like to see it from the eye like what you think from this aspect, and I like to tell you this is what happened in the game to see if you like the difference between the because they're going to be different. They can't all be the same like the game, and so
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that this is going to transpire for the most part in chronological order.
yeah, I thought the acting was incredible.
Yeah.
The pacing was great. I mean, come on, Kathy O'Hara, what's her name?
Catherine
That's
O'Hara.
that scene when she was telling Joel
Yeah.
basically,
That
oh
was
my
good.
best. Okay, look, I've seen Pedro Pascal act in many. That scene alone when he's just sitting there and like taking it, and when
And
she
then,
asks,
and
and
then
when she,
doesn't say anything about it.
anything, but you can tell the pain and the suffering within his face.
Yeah.
Folks, that's first class acting. That is incredible acting that you can do it without a dialogue, and you can and
Yeah.
as an audience you can look at him. You're like you feel the pain and the weight that he look. I'm a dad. That's not even her. That's not in the game. That's Joel's not. Ellie's not even Joel's daughter.
Right.
But I I would do what Joel does. Did I would save my kid. I'm sorry. We're living in the independent world going forward.
Yeah. But
I'm
he's not
not.
like he's not telling anybody about what he learned.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And
So
not even his therapist that
no,
hates him.
but she knows something's going on,
Yeah.
and I kind of wish that she was in the. And she's the character they added, and she has no what's it called? And on top of the okay, when they went on the patrol, just real quick,
Yeah.
the girl that was in charge of the patrol. Well,
Oh yeah.
in the game, her and Ellie kind of like got something going on. In fact, Ellie's tattoo was done by that girl,
Oh.
but they didn't
Okay.
go. They didn't explore that relationship. They kind of went away from it, and they just kind of get like a little bit background of why they talk the way they talk to each other. So
Yeah.
that was pretty interesting that they didn't explore that too. And so
And again, I think that's, runtime
Agree.
is kind of limited,
Agree.
and they got to get through a lot and
Yeah.
just move the story along. So a little exposition going a long way.
Anyway, so all right, folks, that is our review, our thoughts on episode 1, Future Days of The Last of Us, season 2. Let us know what you thought of the first episode. We thought it was great. We can't wait what is in store for this season. I hope I'm right with my prediction, but we'll see. Episode 2 will tell us if I'm right. But anyways, comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. We'll be back with episode 2 review next week. Until then.